Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It seems like today is the day of I told you so. This is the second video I make on an article that confirms some things I've been saying for more than a year. And the first one was that United States of America and the allies, however we want to call them, NATO, weasels, the West, they are in contact, direct contact with the Russians behind the scenes. They negotiate, they control the war in Ukraine. I said it many times. I made a video on that, confirmed by senior officials. Like it was a genius. But anyway, people think, oh my God, we don't talk to them, we isolate them. No, they have all those channels of communication open. Now that was the first I told you so. And now another one. I told you again for many months already that the decision of what's going on in Ukraine, the plans were made a long time ago. It was not a surprise, and it was, oh my God, the Russians just attacked Ukraine just by surprise, man. Psh, we didn't know that. That's the first one. And the second one, the weapons deliveries to Ukraine were organized, were planned. It's a game. Look at each and every, how should I put it, kind of weapon that created an escalation was the same cycle they dragged us, the public, through. The first it was, oh my God, should we do it? No, we definitely don't do it. And then by the end of, I don't know, about a month of negotiation, thinking, forming or changing public's opinion in order to support that garbage is like, as I said many times, this analogy. When you make a steak, sometimes you turn the rising, turn it, pop, and then you put it on the grill. The same, pop, for a month, and then they tell us, well, guess what? Tanks, we're gonna send tanks. Okay, that decision was not made within that month that they were fooling us. The decision was made maybe years. Now, again, I told you so moment, another one. Here is another confirmation. Here you have it. U.S. decision on transferring ATACMS, which I said is about 2 days ago, 3 days ago, made before Zelensky's visit, Financial Times. Yes, it was made even before, a month, 3 months ago. I guarantee you all that was made months before it was. Why? Because it shows the same pattern. First, they just throw the idea in the air. We got tanks. Oh, no, we can't discuss the tanks. They let it go for about 2 days, and then they come with the next one. Well, the Russians are really advancing over there. The Ukrainians are, very much pounded. What are we going to do? Maybe tanks will help. No. Tanks will be an escalation. No, we don't know. Well, 2-3 days, they go to something else. Well, some senior official says that maybe tanks will help the Ukrainians fight the genocidal Russians. Oh, yeah, no, but nah. And then the discussion is held. Maybe we should give tanks to the Ukrainians. That's another guy showing up, a former general. Usually it's the former generals or anonymous sources that start the conversation. Always is like that, my friends. Just pay attention. And then in the end said, well, should Biden send tanks? That's the last. We already discussed yes or no. It's not a no anymore. It turns into from a no to a yes or no, and then maybe, and then yes, let's do it. But the decision, it's going to be an escalation. I'm worried. That was decided months ago. The same with this long-range missile systems. That decision was made way before Zelensky came. So this article comes from September 23rd, 2023, Saturday. The administration of U.S. President Joe Biden has decided to provide long-range ATACMS, ATACMS missiles to Ukraine even before President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the U.S., but did not want to reveal it to the public. Hello? Yeah, okay, and we're dumbasses. Oh my God, we didn't know that. Yes, we did know that. One of the Financial Times sources noted that the US didn't reveal any information. We don't have to reveal it. We know how you operate because we learn from the past and we see patterns, idiots. In order not to give clues to the Russians, like the Russians did not know either. They couldn't just say, all right, let's see how they did it with HIMARS. Go and check the media the articles from the time before delivering the HIMARS, or before sending the howitzers, or the armored vehicles, or the tanks, or the airplanes, or the F-16 airplanes. I'm talking about the old Soviet ones or the Russian ones, MiGs and Sukhois and tanks. Just see, they operate the same cycle as I mentioned 2 minutes and 35 seconds ago, my friends. And the Russians were clueless. Are they going to send? Do you think they're going to send them? Well, I don't know, man. Yes, they knew. They even probably have the person in the room that made the decision, part of the decision-making apparatus. What do you think? Please, these guys have the person in the room when the decision was made. So yeah, the Russians don't find out. This is again for us, like we're idiots. Some of them are, not you and I, obviously. Okay? All right. So the Financial Times sources said the US will send missiles in the near future, initially in small batches. The thing with the small batches, I explained, is like have a criminal, who just, instead of stealing $2 billion, just steals 2 million. Just a small batch compared, relative to 2 billion, 2 million is nothing. It's a small batch. It's going to just steal 2 million here, 2 million there, 2 million. Small batches. What? And the same, I'm with a criminal that wants to do some harm to a woman. You know what I mean, right? I'm just going to pump about 50 times. No, you can't. Yes, it's a small batch. It's not going to be, 1,000 times, which is going to take some. Anyway, but pleasurable. But anyway, and then you got 50 times. It's still considered a crime, but the same, which is a small, mini mine like 50. Okay, 50. Or let's say a small batch relative to what? Tell me how many you got. You got 1,000. What's a small batch? 200? 100? These guys think that we are tards. And as I said, anyway, the sources said sending the cluster missile would help. Cluster missiles would help ease some concerns among U.S. officials that the delivery of single warhead missiles would deplete American stockpiles. They don't care. The weapons manufacturing companies are working 3 shifts, guarantee you that, with our money. So my friends, again, I don't think, from my perspective, these things are not genius predictions or knowing. But if you just pay attention, that's all you need to do. Pay attention in an objective way, that is, accept all the information that you can verify. Right? So you look at it, you memorize it with your basic brain. Okay, you don't have to analyze, just memorize it. And then keep it over there, and by looking at patterns, it happens with this item, it happens with this item, it happened with this one, then you're going to see the same pattern. So next time we're going to talk about something similar, you're going to know 99% of the time, hey, I can predict where this is going. Why? Because they're going to employ the same mental activity, the same logic. Why? Because it worked before. This little fish over here, the bottom feeders that the public is, give us some, and yeah, they give them. So simple. And they don't operate. Sometimes they operate that we don't know shit for maybe years, and we can't even not predict, because their behavior is clear. It's based on interest, and it's very simple to notice the interest. You don't know the detail, but by knowing the person, how the person thinks, you're going to realize in certain kind of circumstances what kind of mental process that person uses to act in that circumstance. Like you have a sick person, that likes to do all kind of criminal stuff. You kind of know how that person will react alone with a woman in a hotel room. It's not hard to predict that. So the same here with these guys, is not hard to predict what they would do in that circumstance, like with the French in Niger. It's not hard to predict what they will do. They will never leave. They have uranium over there. And if they're going to leave, I don't even foresee that leaving. They're going to try everything to stay over there. I haven't heard anything in the past 5 days regarding what's going on with those 4 or 5 military bases, French military bases in Niger. Are they still there? The junta said, get out, and the French says, make me. Make me. What are you going to do? So yeah, and the Americans are already there and still fly drones operations against the terrorists and blah, blah, blah. My friends, patterns, observation, and you have to memorize and accept information that you might not like, if it's part of the final conclusion, you should not discard it just because you don't like it. That's why you have these economists and these idiots who come and say, well, Russian economy will collapse in 48 hours if we impose the first sanction on Russia. Yeah, nothing happened. How do you think these guys fucked it up so bad? Could be because they knew, but they played a game. That's the first one. And the second one, is they were so lost in their ideological make-believe mentality that they couldn't take the information about Russia and the Russian economy that they didn't like. They discarded it. But I think the first one is true. They knew, but they said it like that just because they had to say it. And by doing that, you go to the next one, the next sanction, the next round of sanctions, and then what do? You supply money to certain kind of interest who really make tons of money at this point, and people, unfortunately, nations are destroyed and their cousins or brothers are fighting against one another. Unfortunately, for whom? For the faceless interests. That's where we are. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.